Namaskar and Jai Hind friends. Welcome to the Gyan Jyoti Education. My name is Dinesh Nandurbari. So aspirant, if you are preparing for the UPSC Civil Service Examination and want to become a civil servant in India, then this video is specifically meant for you. As you know, the UPSC conducts an examination for the recruitment of the IAS, IPS, IRS and different other posts. Now this examination is conducted throughout the year and it have three layers, that is prelims, mains and interview. Now the syllabus for this examination is different at different level. For prelims it's quite different and for mains it's also quite different. Today in these sessions we are going to talk about the syllabus for the UPSC Mains General Studies paper first. We are not going to decode the detailed syllabus for the UPSC examination. We are just going to talk about the one aspect of the UPSC syllabus, that is General Studies paper first in mains examination. Before decoding the syllabus, let's have an idea about the mains examination. So, as many of the students knows that mains examination is conducted for 1750 marks. The total weightage is 1715 marks. Now this 1750 marks consist of total 7 papers, out of which one paper is General Studies paper first. Now each paper carries 250 marks weightage and each paper is conducted for 3 hours. So duration of the examination for each paper is 3 hours and the total weightage for each paper is 250 marks. Now the nature of the examination is fully descriptive answer writing pattern. That means unlike the prelims which is objective in nature, your mains is fully descriptive in pattern, where you will get a question and you have to write down the answer in full description, and that's how the exam will be conducted. Now if you are preparing for the civil service examination, then understanding the syllabus is very important key. Without understanding the syllabus, you cannot go further. So that's why we are going to decode the syllabus for the UPSC Mains Examination General Studies paper first only. Other syllabus we are going to decode into the different sessions. Okay. Now before moving forward, there is a very important notification for you that Gyan Jyoti Education have come up with a very beautiful batch called as Nirman. Recently 12th result have been released and many students or many aspirants want to become a civil servant. Now for those students who want to start their preparation after 12th and want to save the precious time before the graduation, for those students Gyan Jyoti Education brought you a Nirman batch. Now this Nirman batch is of 3-year foundation batch. That means here we are going to prepare you for the 3 years. At the first year, all the basics and fundamentals for the examination will be covered. Then in the second year, whole syllabus for the examination, UPSC examination will be covered. And in the third year, we are going to test you. And we are also going to prepare you for the interview preparations. That's how we are going to complete your syllabus in 3 years and prepare you for the examination. Now this Nirman batch is available in online as well as in offline mode also. Also, this Nirman batch is available in English and in Marathi medium also. For more details, you can contact on this number, that is 788 799 2834. I will repeat this number for you, 788 799 2834. Just contact on this number and you will get the relevant information regarding the Nirman batch. आगे बढ़ते हैं. So the UPSC Mains GS1 topic covers 3 important topics. है ना? GS1 paper covers 3 important topics. That is Indian history, Indian geography, and the Indian society. Now these broader topics are decoded in these slides. Okay. For example, we have a first topic as a Indian heritage and culture. यहाँ पे हम लोग भारत की संस्कृति के बारे में पढ़ने वाले. Understood? Now, Indian heritage and culture include subtopics also. In Indian heritage and culture, we have to study Indian art form. Correct? Art form just like dance, drama, music, paintings. These are the topics covered under the Indian dance form. art form. So we have to cover Indian dance, folk dance and classical dance, folk music as well as classical music, then dramas like Ram Leela, and paintings like Madhubani, and these are just examples. So we have to cover Indian art forms. Then another subtopic is Indian literature. Now it includes Indian ancient literature and classic text. है ना, ancient literature for example Vedic literature, Buddhism literature, है ना, classical text means like Kalidasa's text, है ना. So these are the part into the literature. Then Indian architecture is one of the important part in Indian heritage and culture. Now Indian architecture includes the temple architecture, the Indo-Islamic architecture and all that. So we have to cover the Indian art and culture extensively under this topic. Then the another important topic into the syllabus is Indian history. Now Indian history is a very vague term. We have to decode it completely. So here Indian history include India's ancient history, India's medieval history, India's modern history and post-independence. Now these four topics are covered under the Indian history. Now what does include India's ancient history? So in India's ancient history, we start our journey from the Harappa culture, then Vedic culture, Gupta Samrajya, Maurya Samrajya, है ना, Harshavardhan Samrajya, correct? So we cover all these topics under the ancient Indian history. Then we learn about the medieval Indian history also. Now medieval history includes the southern state like Bahmani state, Vijayanagar Empire. Then we have to learn about the Sultanate, Delhi Sultanate particularly, starting from Muhammad Ghori. Then we have to look into the Mughal Empire, starting from the Babur. Then we have to look into the Maratha Empire. So these are the topic under the medieval history of the India. Then one of the important topic for your mains examination is Indian modern history from the mid 18th century to the 1947. So from mid 18th century to the 1947, whatever happened, we called it as modern history, which includes colonialization of the India by the British Empire, implementation of the colonial policies into the India, their political policies, their economic policies, their cultural policies into the India, the impact of the policies in India, the response of India to the colonial rule in India, for example, tribal movements, peasant movement, revolts, the famous revolt of 1857, it is a part of the syllabus. Then we also look into the movements happening into the India under the modern history. For example, we look into the socio-religious reform movements into the India, which shape the destiny of the India. Then we are going to learn about the political movement into the India, which includes establishment of the Congress and the movement run by the Congress. Now the Congress party, after the establishment of Congress party, a national movement took a different direction. So here we learn about the Swadeshi movement. After the advent of Gandhi, we learn about the various movements, for example, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, quit India movement. These are the movements happening into the India. So the national movements are the part of the Indian syllabus, Indian history syllabus. Then apart from this movement, there are certain revolutionary movements. For example, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev, Chandrasekhar, Azad, Savarkar, Subhash Chandra Bose. These are the people who started the revolutionary movement into the India. And then after the up to the independence, we are going to cover whole part under the Indian modern history. Then there is a part called as post-independence India. Now what include post-independence India? That after 1947, whatever happened, we cover under the post-independence India. Now what does it include? So it includes the state reorganization happened into the India. Then India's relationship with the Pakistan, particularly I am talking about the wars happened between India and Pakistan. War happened between India and China. India's nuclear program, then LPG policy, liberalization, privatization and globalization policy into the India. So all these topics covered under the post-independence and consolidation and reorganization. So these are the topic for our for Indian history. Okay. Apart from the Indian history, we also have to look into the history of the world. That means world history from the 18th century onwards. So world history is also important part of your mains examination under the GS1 topic. It includes numerous topics just like enlightenment and its impact, American and French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, rise and fall of the colonial empires, World War First and World War Second, then Russian Revolution, Cold War, decolonization, and rise of the international organizations such as UN, IMF, and World Bank. So these are the topics we have to cover under the history of the world, or world history as one can say. So these are the topics particularly related to the history, Indian history and the world history. Apart from history, there is an important topic called as Indian society. Now Indian society is one of the important topic in GS1. Now it covers the characteristics of the Indian society, its unity in diversity. And another topic is caste system and its dynamics into the India. Then role of the family, community and social institutions, social empowerment of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, women and minorities. So these are the broader topic included into the Indian society. Again, there are two divisions of the Indian society, that is effects of globalization on the Indian society and social empowerment. है ना, एक एक करके देखते हैं कि दोनों में कौन सा सिलेबस हमको कवर करना है. So the globalization effects on the Indian society includes the changing culture and values and the lifestyle. Then impact on the traditional institutions such as family system, caste system and marriage system. Now the economic impact of the globalization such as migration, urbanization and jobs. Then global local interface, that is multinational companies, media and technology, the impact of the globalization. These are the topics covered under the Indian society. Apart from this, we have to look into the social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism under the Indian society. Now these topics includes the definition of this whole topics, that is social empowerment, communalism, regionalism and secularism, historical issues, constitutional safeguards provided regarding these topics, concepts and constitutional provisions regarding these topics, and the government initiative and policies regarding these topics. So these are the important topics covered under the Indian society. Understood? Now the last part of the GS syllabus is geography. Now the geography includes Indian geography as well as the world geography. The both geographies are covered. So the geography is divided as a physical geography and human economic geography. Let's look into the first topic, that is physical geography of India as well as world. So we have to cover Indian physical geography and the world physical geography here. So what does it include? So it includes various landforms. So it includes various landforms which includes mountains, plateaus and plains. Then we have to cover climatology, which includes monsoon cycle, jet streams and etc. These are the points under the physical geography. Now we have to cover these topics from the Indian geography point of view and the world geography point of view also. Then oceanography, there is another topic which includes currents, tides, marine resources and etc. Then natural hazards, which includes earthquakes, tsunamis, floods, droughts. These are the topics covered under the physical geography. I will again repeat, physical geography includes Indian physical geography and world physical geography. So the same topics are studied for Indian physical geography and world physical geography. Apart from these, there is a human and economic geography. Again, India and world. So distribution of the natural resources, India and the world. It is very important topic. Then factors affecting location of industries, industrial regions in India. So where industry should be located, what are the factors affecting the location of Indian industry. Then the urbanization, its trends, problems and solutions, and the population, that's its distribution, its growth, its density and migration pattern. These are the topics covered under the human and economic geography. So this is the syllabus for your general studies paper 1. I hope so you understand the total syllabus for the UPSC Mains examination general studies paper 1.